Alright. I say,
Welcome to another episode of Climate Chronicles, where we dive into the pressing issues surrounding climate change. I'm your host, Casey Tiketti, and joining me today is climate scientist and expert Dr. Carl Crash.
Thank you, Casey. It's a pleasure to be here.
Today, we're discussing a critical aspect of climate change and its impact on natural hazards. Dr. Crash, can you start by giving our listeners an overview of how climate change influences natural hazards?
Certainly, Casey. Climate change exacerbates and intensifies various natural hazards, including hurricanes, wildfires, floods, and heat waves. As global temperatures rise, so does the frequency and intensity of these events, disrupting ecosystems and posing serious threats to human communities.
Let's start with hurricanes. How does climate change contribute to the increased intensity and frequency of hurricane?
The warming of sea surface temperatures provides the energy that fuels hurricanes. As our planet warms due to climate change, the oceans absorb more heat, extra snowstorms, leading to stronger and more frequent hurricanes. This has profound implications for coastal communities, increasing the risk of storm surges and flooding.
That's concerning. And speaking of flooding, many regions are experiencing more frequent and severe floods. How does climate change play a role in this?
Well, warmer temperatures lead to changes in precipitation patterns. We're seeing more intense rainfall events, causing rivers to overflow and leading to widespread flooding. The melting of glaciers and polar ice caps also contributes to rising sea levels, which further impacts the flooding risks of coastal areas.
Moving on to wildfires, we've seen devastating fires in recent years. How is climate change linked to the increased occurrence and severity of wildfires?
Climate change creates drier conditions in many regions, making vegetation more susceptible to ignition. Additionally, prolonged periods of heat contribute to increased frequency and intensity of wildfires. This not only poses a direct threat on ecosystems, but also endangers communities living in or near forest areas.
Oh wow, that's intense. Well, let's not forget about heat waves. How are they connected to climate change, and what are the implications for human health?
Heat waves are becoming more frequent and severe due to rising global temperatures. Extended periods of extreme heat can have serious health consequences, leading to heat-related illnesses and even fatalities. Vulnerable populations, such as the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions, are particularly at risk.
Yeah, that's pretty intense, and I think we both have some pretty good experiences with this one. So let's just get right into it. Last but not least, what can you tell us about snowstorms, and how are they connected as well as the others? Also, what can they cause to the environment?
A few degrees of global warming means that some storms that would have brought snow on a 31-degree day will end up dumping rain at 33 degrees. But on the other hand, more snow falls when temperatures are just below freezing than during extreme cold.
Back at Casey with some fun facts on snow. Did you guys know that all 50 states have recorded snowfall, and snowflakes fall at 2 to 5 feet per second? And it's very clear that climate change is intertwining with these natural hazards, creating a complex web of challenges. And how can individuals and communities adapt to these changes, Dr. Crash?
Adaptation is crucial. This involves implementing strategies such as improved infrastructure, early warning systems, and land use planning to minimize the impact of natural hazards. Additionally, mitigating climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions is essential to address the root cause of these issues.
Oh, wow, I am absolutely astonished by all this information you've given us so far today. So as we wrap up today's episode, what message would you like to leave our listeners with regarding the intersection of climate change and natural hazards?
I want to emphasize that climate change is not a distant threat. It's happening now, and its impacts are affecting communities worldwide. By understanding the connection between climate change and natural hazards, we can work together towards sustaining solutions and build resilient societies that can withstand the challenges ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Kratz, for joining us today and shedding light on this very crucial topic. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Climate Chronicles. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work together for a sustainable future.